UFC bantamweight, Pannie Kianzad, thank you so much for the time. I know that you had a fight coming up, but now you don't. And man, what is the raw emotions that you have during this period?
Um, I'm trying to be positive. I'm still really convinced this fight is gonna happen. Um, it just takes a bit of time. Uh, I'm really hoping that the events in May will go. So I mean, I'm basically always training anyway, so I don't feel that I'm like missing anything because it's kind of like I'm waiting to get a found announced anyway. So training wise, this is not really bothering me. I'm that kind of person that always trains off season. I never actually feel out of shape, so I don't mind it.
What's the environment for you right now? You said you're training, so that means the gyms are not closed, they're open. You can go train, would never keep a regular schedule.
Well, not all the gyms are open, but as you heard, Sweden is not under lockdown. We
Mm.
have a different kind of approach. One of my gyms here in Sweden are open. I'm basically doing everything I can in Sweden here. Everything is basically open for me, but I'm training out of Denmark usually, and that's they have a more strict law there compared to Sweden. They are closing every gym in Denmark, and a lot of the restaurants are closed. They have a bit more strict rules. So basically, I can't do my MMA at my regular gym, but I I have been able to go over there anyway for with a kind of like how do you say it, like a permission, uh, because I'm training and I have my dentist in Denmark. So I'm
Okay, so
basically going over there and fixing, doing some stuff, fixing my teeth. And one of our guys has he has built his own gym in the basement. So basically, the guys that are uh, training for a fight or maybe are getting a fight soon that need to be kept in shape, we do meet up a few times a week just to go over everything. And basically, I have like contact with my MMA trainer over Skype and Facebook. But I'm pretty lucky that I train in Sweden as well. So my striking coach and my strength conditioning coach, I see them every day, and I train with them every day. I'm just at the gym. I just finished off a class.
so
So,
your so
um,
your
yeah.
so your dentist is your coach.
It's like no, not really. It's just like I have them. Uh, I'm kind of lucky that I have my dentist in Denmark. That means that I'm fixing some stuff with my teeth that gone wrong and tough,
Sure.
and some other stuff. So I got kind of a little permission to go over there for a few hours at a time, and I just take the advantage to train at the same time as I've done my teeth. So
Definitely.
yeah, I'm just taking every advantage I can right now. It's okay.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? That's the world we're in right now, for especially for fighters,
And
for athletes. You gotta get your training in the way that you can get it, the best you can get it, because some people are worse than others. Some people can go to the gym and have their team with them. It's pretty crazy.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I basically can do all of my stuff. The only thing I can't do is be in my regular gym doing MMA training with all of the guys. But we're a couple that can do it together, and that's enough. And yes, like I said, Sweden is not really under a lockdown, but less and less people are dying every day. And I'm pretty positive that this will we will find a way to like go around it. And basically, I'm not doing anything. I'm not threatening, putting myself in a dangerous spot. Going. I'm not really around people either way, with or without Corona. I'm not like around a lot of people. I train just with specific kind of people, and I rarely train in a group. I do it when everything is normal, but I try not to see people that I never see, and just try to not be around people in town. Like you see pictures in Sweden, people are, as soon as the sun is out. This is a typical Swede. As soon as the sun comes out, they strip down. They go, tanning in the in town. They are out drinking with a lot of people. If you would be here, you wouldn't even think this is a Corona time. People just don't give a shit. They just don't. Everybody's like, there are tons of people right now in town having coffee, having dinner, sitting this close to each other. It's.
Are they wearing masks?
No, nobody is wearing masks.
Okay.
I've seen a couple of people wearing masks, like really elderly people that kind of in risk group, and like really paranoid people. I've seen people not wearing anything, and then I go into the train station and I see this weird guy wearing like a oxygen mask, those like gas masks, and like goggles. So it's, I don't know, it's everything or nothing here. But I'm just trying to stay healthy. Yeah.
That's wild. It could freak people out if you go out there and you see people with gas masks on and goggles.
I was freaked out. I saw him in a gas mask. I'm like, what the fuck? So, but I just think like the Sweden's approach is pretty good. I think because the approach is like, we are getting infected. There's nothing we can do to stop it because it's in the air. Everybody, if you're around people that are sick, you're probably going to get sick. It's worse for somebody that, and for some people, it's not even bad. But we're just going to focus on people that are sick and that are in risk groups. And so that makes sense because they're not closing all the schools and everything. Because if they would, everything would go down. And especially like the medical care of Sweden, everybody is depending on it. They can't just close it down. I myself, I work extra in the medical care. If we wouldn't step in, everything will go down. Like, I would think that if they just told everybody you're not going to work, we're closing everything down, that they do it in a couple of countries, it's going to get worse than people dying from Corona, because people are going to get unemployed, they're going to get depressed, they're going to kill themselves. Instead of some people that are in risk groups that are not healthy, they are smoking, they are diabetics, they're overweight, they're probably going to get sick. Some of them are going to die. So yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't know.
What are you doing? You said that you're working. What exactly are you doing?
Sometimes I go in, like, especially during this time, and when I have time, if I'm not in camp, if I don't like have anything special to do, I jump in and work for like an assistant nurse during nights. So I do like some night shifts, just to have something else to do in training, and especially during this epidemic, I just go in and help, because there's a lot of, like, if you get sick when you do like night shifts, you can't come back until a week, especially during these times, and they need people. And I try to help out, especially when my fight got postponed, not happening in May. I went in and worked the whole Easter just to make sure that I can save up, because you don't know when I'm going to fight. I don't know if I'm going to fight in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, even more.
So going to the hospital, like, what does it look like? Can you tell me, like, what exactly are you seeing?
I'm not really in the hospital. So basically it's, we started in our office, and I start working at 10 p.m. Yeah. And then basically we have a schedule, and we go home to people that are that need our help in certain amount of times. Like, we go home to their places, and basically we are like an emergency group. So whenever somebody presses their alarm, their clock, if if they fall down, if they can't breathe, if they're like an emergency, they call, and then we go right away. So we just like an emergency group whole night, and helping out and giving medication, and if they need anything. And we have shelters, we have female, I don't know what you call it in English, but like homes only for females, like women that are maybe under certain kind of protection or something.
Wow, that's a big responsibility right there, to go out there and
yeah,
take care of
it is. So it's basically working for like 12 hours straight.
Mm.
Sometimes it's pretty calm, and if totally depends. But like I would say, wintertime and summertime is kind of the worst because wintertime, people are depressed. A lot of them are alone at home. Some people
Yeah.
don't even haven't lived with anybody for like over 50 years. So they're depressed, and the immune system just get worse. And summers are even worse because then it's like it's too warm. Every infection they have gets worse,
Yeah.
and they, some people are just like fall down and die by themselves, or some people just die of their illnesses. But it's
Wow, it's
horrible, yeah.
yeah, it's a rough job. You do so much because I remember last time we spoke, you were doing the commentary and the analyst
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and then
So
now
that's
you're
what I really want to do. But
yeah.
but just because of this Corona thing, I usually get more work, but
Mhm.
it totally depends on the events. So
Mhm.
every time there was Cage Warriors, ONE FC, UFC, I get to commentate. And that is, what I want to put my time into. But I feel that every person right now have a responsibility to do whatever they can to help out. And just because I have a lot of time, I do have 2 sessions a day. I do, but I do feel that I can push this, and if I can help, I will. So I'm trying to do my best to do my part as well.
What has the UFC been telling you, or did they tell you just to stay ready and be on standby? Fight Island's coming in June.
Nothing from the UFC yet, just that they are trying to push these events, and they are telling us, the fight on it is real. It probably will happen. But my manager's been telling me just to don't overtrain, but just stay in shape. That's it. Keeping my weight low, and just staying ready.
Yeah, so yeah, Fight Island is gonna be for all the international fighters, and it could go on for a long time. So you could be fighting there multiple times this year, which is kind of
Yeah,
cool, I guess. Is it cool for you? Do you feel like that
I
it's
like
cool?
it. I don't mind it. I'm hoping it's not too far away.
Mm.
You know, I don't mind traveling, but it's pretty nice fighting in Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's pretty nice.
Maybe the islands in the Mediterranean. Who knows?
I hope it's like Spain. I hope
Cyprus or
it's
something.
Ibiza. I hope it's like close to me. But yeah, just like I'm really hoping. I'm like, this is a fight like before I wanted to fight before May, but when I got the opportunity to fight Bethe, I was like, I'm waiting for this opportunity. I don't want to fight anything between because I'm waiting for this cool fight. So this is, it's worth waiting for, and I hope it's still her. So, but I don't mind if they change my opponent. But I mean, it would be cool still fighting her.
Yeah, I would feel like you would be pushing to keep this fight going because Betch is a probably in your mind a very good stylistic matchup, and she's ranked number 13. You beat her, you take
Yeah,
her spot.
I need her. Yeah, I really want to fight her, just because I just think that our styles make a good fight. I can't say like I have. I'm 100% sure that this will not be a boring fight, and that's what I want to see in fights. I want to see exciting fights. Um, so I really want this to happen. I'm really hoping for it.
Could you describe her style of fighting as kind of a stand and bang style? Like she would just stand and strike
Yeah,
with you?
she reminds me of a typical Brazilian fighter.
Mm.
That's not typical like jiu-jitsu based.
Mm.
Like either you had the Brazilian fighter that are like third degree black belt,
Mm.
or you have the stand and bang. Like
Mm.
either you have Damian Maya or you have Edson Barbosa striking.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's either that. But I feel that she's super tough, and I love watching her. I see a lot of myself in her too. I mean, I love that she wakes up after first round, and she gets,
Mm.
as more damage she takes, she gets even more tougher, and she can endurance a lot. And I mean, I said this before in another interview. It's like I've been sitting on the sideline for a couple of years too long, where what I think I should be in the UFC, and I'm waiting outside and watching all these girls, and I know everything about them. I know every kind of style they have. I know everybody in top 15 of all the girls. And when I got the chance to come here and, finally, ask maybe for a fight, and then I was like, I'm not wasting any time, because I've been already on the sideline for 5 years waiting and watching. So I'm not going to waste any time like calling maybe another girl out that is new to the UFC or something. I want the girls that I should have been fighting a long time ago. So it's like the whole top 15. It's good fights.
Yeah, there's a lot of good fights. The last fight you had, it was a dominant performance versus Jessie Jess. Now, you won the fight, but of course you go back, you have to work on some things. What did you feel like you needed to work on from that fight?
I work on everything every day, and like I have a good I have a great team that are wrestling and jiu-jitsu based, and I work with a really good striking coach as well. But I get the chance during this quarantine time. I roll every day with freestyle wrestlers in my size and a lot of good grapplers. But basically, I can't say that I work on one thing. I work on everything every day. I've always been like that ever since I started doing MMA, that I really want to be well-rounded. Because as better I feel confident maybe on the ground, I can get more loose and relaxed standing. So that's what I'm feeling, that I can, like, I don't ever want to feel that I feel insecure anywhere I end up. Like if I'm feeling great standing and I'm getting taken down, I want to feel that I can be a threat anywhere I am, on my back, on top. So I'm working on everything, but I'm still working on new stuff as well all the time, because that's what I feel like off season is good for. They're working on good, cool stuff that maybe you don't have time for to work in camps, like doing a lot of spinning shit and stuff. You don't want to waste your camp doing that. You want to get in good shape, So that's what I'm maybe doing now. Maybe I'm not telling everything, just like.
All right. Well, I saw another interview you did, and you said that Amanda Nunes is the GOAT at 135. I thought that was interesting because there's always Ronda Rousey. If Amanda Nunes is the GOAT, where does Ronda Rousey rank, do you think?
I think that you can be. I don't think there's maybe. It's hard to say that it's only one person that is greatest of all time. I think she is the greatest of all time right now. But I 100% think that Ronda Rousey did something a lot of people didn't do. And I think she was the greatest of all time in her time. You know what I mean? When she was on fire, I really thought she was unstoppable. And she beat a lot of good fighters that, people are saying now that Ronda Rousey is not fighting anymore. She never fought anybody. She only fought trash. I'm like, that you can't really say that, because she fought the best there was then. And Amanda is fighting the best there was now. So I think people should have respect for Ronda as well. She did a lot of cool stuff. I mean, even though there were a lot of females before her, Dana White opened his eyes when he saw her. No offense to the other girls. I'm just saying that she was the biggest reason why he wanted females in the UFC.
Yeah, if you look back, there's only been two eras. There's been the Ronda Rousey era and the Amanda Nunes era. Now, you girls, are the ones fighting for the next era, I believe. Like the fighters that are competing right now, that are reaching their prime. And is that the goal for you? Is to not to just be champion, but like to have your own era in this sport.
And I do think so. I think our era is always like, it will always come a better era, of course. But I think our era, especially like the girls in top 15, we are the most well-rounded girls. Because in the beginning, it was kind of a Ronda era, good at one specific thing, grappling, arm bars. And then the Nunes era came where she is good at everything. And I think that's like the new age of MMA. Because before when MMA was new, everybody was good at one thing. If you were a grappler, you would be a super grappler. If you were a striker, you wouldn't really be good at the grappling. You know what I mean? But I think everybody's getting so well-rounded, and I think that's our era, that we are well-rounded.
Let's say you do get in the cage and face Bethe Correia. How do you see that fight playing out?
I think especially me working on all my stuff, I think I will piece her up pretty good everywhere. I feel really confident in myself, and I'm really aware of my opponent's abilities, maybe her downsides and everything, but I'm really focusing on what I'm gonna do, and I'm looking forward to shine on the big stage finally. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Pannie, thank you so much for the time.
No
Much
problem.
respect to you, going out there every night, or not every night, but from time to
Trying
time,
to.
and help, yeah, and helping people. Because a lot of people are not doing that. They're just staying home and just sitting there doing nothing. Basically, there's a lot of people that are
I
doing
feel
that too.
that like if anybody listening to my interview is like, if you're not in a risk group, if you're not in like any danger, if you can help out, just do it, you know. And if you want to wear masks to protect, like that's what we do when we go out working. We protect ourselves to not infect the people in the risk group. We're not scared of ourselves. We're scared of people. So when we go into people's houses, we are totally protected. So we don't bring in anything. So I think if you can do anything, only either if it's like you helping somebody a grocery shop that cannot go out by themselves, if they're really old, just do it. It's so, well, whatever we can do to make this go away faster.